What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I got some new news concerning Manny Pacquiao. I have been requested to counterpunch a video that I just saw by Bruce fucking Vane. Bruce Vane has many controversial videos out, which he's famous for in the YouTube world. And people ask me how I feel about it. You know, he has a video about Manny Pacquiao on alleged ped use. Okay, so let me counterpunch it and give my own assessment of the video and how I feel about Manny Pacquiao. Okay. Manny Pacquiao's 40 years old. He's looking fast, sharp, quick, powerful, explosive, right? And he's doing this at 40 years of age. And of course, Bruce fucking Vane gave his assessment on he thinks he's juicing again, quote unquote. And he gave the reasons why and the sources on why he feels Manny Pacquiao's juicing. Okay, now, mind you, Manny Pacquiao has fought some of the best fighters in the world, okay? And there were times that he was going up in weight and whacking guys much bigger than him. Much bigger. Okay? Shane Mosley, Cotto, Margarito, De La Hoya. You know what I mean? And the ped use began, and the origin of the ped use began with Floyd Mayweather Senior. A lot of people thought it was Junior, but it was Senior. Senior was put on a task to train Ricky Hatton. Ricky Hatton was just coming off a devastating loss, his first loss to Mayweather Jr. Okay, Mayweather Senior promised, and he put a lot of pressure on himself by doing so, to promise that his fighter would be ready and knock out Manny Pacquiao. Because of course he was a trainer, he was, you know, fighter of the year, trainer of the year at that year, okay, and he promised a lot of things to himself, to Ricky Hatton, to everyone that would listen, that hey, I have the right recipe and the strategy for Ricky Hatton to whoop Manny Pacquiao's ass, okay, and he even had a rap about it, you know what I mean? The Manny Pacquiao ass whooping machine is coming to you, you know. And what happened, as you all know, Manny Pacquiao knocks out Ricky Hatton cold. Now, of course, that brought a lot of criticism, and I think to save face, Floyd Sr. informed his son, which Floyd at the time was in talks to come back. You know, he takes long hiatuses, and he did so after beating Ricky Hatton himself, knocking him out in 9 rounds, well, 10 rounds with a check left hook, right? And he tells his son, hey, if you're going to fight Manny Pacquiao, make sure you drug test him. You know what I mean? That's one of the instructions, or the advice he gave Floyd Jr. So Floyd Jr. goes on, when those negotiations come to fruition, Floyd then wants Manny Pacquiao to do something that he never made anyone else do. He wanted Manny Pacquiao to take a drug test, but not just any drug test, an Olympic-style drug test, which is called USADA. Okay? Professionals use VADA, not USADA. He didn't want him to take a VADA, mind you. Now, this is the key thing that we have to mention in that video of Bruce Vane. This is something we had to add. He did not want him to take a VADA drug test. He wanted his own organization. You know, Floyd lives and dies by USADA because he donates money. He's an affiliate with USADA, you know, and that was his recommendations, him being the A side. Okay. Now, at the same time, mind you, Floyd went on rants, which was stupid. He went on rants on YouTube, you know. Yeah, Pac-Man on those pellets. Yeah, he taking them powder pellets. He taking them Pac-Man pellets. Yeah. We gonna make sure, we gonna drug test his ass though. Right? That was one of many rants that Floyd went on. So what happened? Team Pacquiao pressed a lawsuit against Floyd. Then Floyd changed his tune. I never said he was taking anything. I never said that, because he had to. Because now he wasn't really aware that, hey, you can get sued for the shit that comes out of your mouth. Okay? And that's what happened in that situation. He was accusing Manny Pacquiao of taking steroids because Manny Pacquiao did not want to take a USADA drug test. And it wasn't that he didn't want to take the USADA drug test. It was when the drug test was going to be implemented, right? Random means random. I know that. I get that. You know, and that's what it was going to be. But if you're going to go after a guy and draw blood from a guy many, many times, you know, first of all, your body is not meant from blood to be drawn from it. Okay? That's not what you know, needles don't supposed to go into your body, not into your temple, to take anything out for any reason. Food goes in, you know, feces and piss comes out. That's the only really thing, right? So Manny was like, well, I don't want to take that because it'll make me weaker. And if I'm going to take it, I want more money. And that was the deal. He wanted more money for taking those type of drug tests. And everybody was like, well, why? Well, if he feels he's going to be weaker and that'll give Mayweather an edge, he wants more money, you know, for that, because of that. I get that. I understand that. You know, and he said, well, you can take it after the fight. They said, no, we don't want to take that after the fight. And I'm like, okay. You know, so that's where all this brewed from. All the rumors started, you know, Paulo Malignaggi and Teddy Atlas, you know, and a lot of other people were like, well, yeah, well, maybe he was juicing because he ain't got a knockout and he didn't have a knockout because after that, he didn't get a knockout, right? Well, first of all, the Antonio Margarito fight should have been stopped. That could have been a knockout. He knocked down Chris Algieri 6 times. He was on the verge of knocking out Juan Manuel Marquez in their fight when he did get knocked out himself. Okay, and he looked explosive in that fight. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the best fights, and that was probably Manny Pacquiao in his best shape while getting knocked out. Okay, now that was one source. Okay, the moon face. Second source, Alex Ariza. Alex Ariza was the trainer of Manny Pacquiao. Okay, this is going to take a little time because I had to break down this video because the video itself was pretty long. Alex Ariza was giving supposed special shakes or special drinks to Manny Pacquiao. And we heard that I've heard Freddie Roach say that. It was in an all access. Like, I want to know what he has in those shakes. Or it was an interview, okay? He was like, I wanted to know what he had in those shakes. Now, I didn't know from that video, I didn't know that he never told Freddie Roach. But that wasn't the reason he kicked Alex Ariza out of his gym. Okay, he kicked him out of his gym because he was trying to overstep his authority. He was trying to tell Manny to do certain things where Freddie already told him to do a certain thing. And Alex Ariza's told him contradicting things. He was out. In fact, Freddie Roach wanted him out of that, you know, out of that camp for a while. He never really liked Alex Ariza. And in fact, these guys almost got into it. I think Alex Ariza kicked him in the chest. You know what I mean? You remember that because Alex Ariza, after he left Roach's camp, went to Brandon Ríos' camp. And these guys, you know, they got into, you know, scuffles and stuff like that. And Alex Ariza Leonidas his ass. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, some of the lawsuit was going to, you know, I mean, charges were going to get pressed about that. But, you know, it never, you know, I don't know if anything ever happened to it or whatever. But, you know, Alex Ariza needed a job after he got fired. So he, not only did he go to Brandon Ríos' camp, he went to Floyd Mayweather's camp. Okay. Now, what I don't understand is I believe that Bruce fucking Vane said that he went to Juan Manuel Marquez's camp. You know, I think I remember seeing that because I seen it a couple hours ago. And if that's the case, that was when Juan Manuel Marquez he went to Juan Manuel Marquez's camp. But Juan Manuel Marquez, he didn't have Alex Ariza in his training camp. I know he had Brandon Ríos. But again, Alex Ariza has never been charged with giving performance enhancing drugs. Sure, it's all been rumored, but he hasn't been charged with anything. And of course, yes, there was the statement that Alex Ariza said about Manny Pacquiao that he never took blood because Manny wouldn't let him, and he feels that he was without a doubt on performance enhancing drugs. But you get this. Why would you as a trainer say that about Manny Pacquiao and you were with him all those damn years? You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you all of a sudden say that after he fired you? That's just too convenient. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, your sources don't mean shit because you was with him 10 years. And you're the strength and conditioning coach, but you have nothing to do with it? You know what I mean? Oh, he never let me take any blood from him. Like, well, what good are you? What the hell were you doing in his camp if that was the case? You know what I mean? Sure, you help him train, you give him supplements, you know what I mean? You do things like that's one of the jobs, the criteria of strength and conditioning coach. But you couldn't draw his blood because he wouldn't let you? To me, I feel like a person that Alex Ariza he's a dick. Honestly, I think he's a dickhead. I've never met him personally, but I think he chose to say, fuck it, I'm going to go along with the narrative that everyone else is talking about because, I was with this guy, but he never proved that he did anything. And if he could prove anything of Alex Ariza, why didn't he prove what the fuck was in the Magic Shakes? Right? What was in the Magic Shakes that you refused to tell Freddie Roach about? That's what I would have asked him the minute he would have made a statement like this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just too convenient for you getting fired from Manny Pacquiao's camp. The motherfucker bought you a house. You know what I mean? Yeah, you needed a place to stay. You needed, But it's like you go on to train other guys, then you get on Floyd's side, then all of a sudden you're making these statements. Damn, Floyd is the money man. You think, shit, anybody can be bought pretty much, right? Especially a trainer. Shit, he went to the enemy. He went to someone else, right? He had to train someone, right? So, of course, you're going to go over to Reebok after you left Nike, and talk shit about Nike to Reebok. That's exactly what happened in this situation. He probably gave him shit, $100,000. Hey, here's $100,000, Alex. Tell him what was going on with Manny Pacquiao that whole time. Tell him. So that source is biased as fuck. Okay? So you have Floyd, Moonface. Okay, in the Moonface. We've covered that. He's been a young child. He showed a picture of him as an 18-year-old guy. And then he showed another picture of him at 34 years of age. Or 33 years of age. Okay, he's Asian. All right. That's like, what, 14 years? Shit. A lot happens in 14 years. It took years for me to get here. Years. Yeah, that's a long time. You know what I mean? 14 years is a long time. It's been a long time since Manny Pacquiao knocked out Barrera and Morales. That's been a long time ago. You know what I mean? So, and even Eric Morales was, he tapped out at 140 when he got out of the game, and he started at 122. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But as far as the Moonface thing, that's a natural progression of your body. And I think I covered that before. But, 18 to 34, no. He's Asian. He's going to have a round face. Right? So, that's going to happen. Anyway, you know what I mean? Your face is going to get rounder. Hell, look at me. I got a round face. All right? And when I was 18, I had a much slimmer face. More chiseled, So, but, no, I think that was not a good analogy when showing that picture of him as a fucking kid versus him as a grown-ass man 15 years later. 14, 15 years later, right? I don't think that was a good example. Brandon Ríos. Now, this is the one thing that I will question, and I want to know where he got the source, is when Alex Ariza went to Brandon Ríos and they knew they had him on his team to drug test him. by USADA. Now, that's the thing that got me. I'm like, whoa, I didn't know that. Now, I would like, and I will contact him, to see where he got that from, okay? Because that does raise questions. But you could counterpunch that and say, well, they just got that from Floyd. Okay, motherfucker, if you want to use Alex Ariza, right? Okay. And I think, and Freddie thinks he was a little shady anyway. If that's the case, let's drug test him to see what happens. And then really what did happen? Brandon Ríos still popped dirty for a banned substance, not PEDs. Okay, and that's not what PEDs, PEDs, and banned substances are two different things. They're both illegal. That's the only thing they have in common. Banned substances is something that you take that can harm your body. Okay, like cocaine, marijuana, some kind of cutting agent. You know what I'm saying? PEDs is something that some chemical you take to either raise your heart rate, or you give you more testosterone, or give you some type of edge with speed and power or endurance, right? Banned substances is some shit that just shouldn't be in your body. And what shouldn't be in Brandon Rios' body was, I think it was definitely a diuretic. I can't remember the name. And that's what he had in his system, not a PED. So that wouldn't even apply to Alex Ariza, and he might not even had anything to do with that, right? But he sure as shit had something to do with those special shakes. So let's say this. So let's keep it real. If Manny Pacquiao was juicing, if he was taking anything, it was because of Alex Ariza. So even what Alex Ariza was saying in that statement was biased as fuck, would hold no weight. Because that's the one thing that people question you that came to the forefront that you were doing, was giving Manny Pacquiao a special shake. That you refused to say what was in it. Damn if he refused to give you his blood or not. That has nothing to do with it, right? Everything has to do with what you actually gave him and what was admitted you gave him without even showing knowledge of. Okay, so yeah, that's Alex Ariza. And I admit, he done some shady shit, but don't all of them? Look at Juan Manuel Marquez, for example, right? Juan Manuel Marquez had Memo Heredia in his corner, when he fought Floyd and when he fought Manny Pacquiao. And that's when he knocked out Pacquiao. Remember that, guys? He had Memo Heredia. And Heredia was convicted of giving Olympians drug tests, or drugs, PEDs, without being detected. And he had to testify in court, right? But he's still out there doing what he does. You know what I mean? Juan Manuel Marquez thanks him greatly. But he's been, he's been criticized a lot because he was once convicted of that. Okay, now if Manny fucked with that dude, okay, all right, you got a point. You got a point. You know what I mean? Counterpunch. You got a point on that. You know what I mean? But no, using Alex Ariza, no, he's not a good enough source because he's been with every other camp. You don't get with the the rival camp and then conveniently everything you say is true about the camp that you just left. You know what I'm saying? It's just too convenient to me. But anyway, that's my take on it, of Manny Pacquiao. Until Manny Pacquiao gets busted, because everything, look, what's in the dark is going to come to the light, okay? And that's a fact. Look at Margarito. We don't know how long he was wrapping his hands illegal. But eventually that shit came to the forefront. Unfortunately, he had to fuck up people like Cotto's career first, pretty much permanently alter his career because of his bullshit. But it did get brought to the light, right? So, Manny, I don't think he's taking anything. I think his lifestyle is a lot better than it used to be. And, he's Asian again. Right? Asians don't age like normal people. They do certain things, Just like Indians take turmeric and shit like that to keep themselves healthy. You know what I mean? So if you start living healthier, you get healthier results. That's probably the result of this. But to go as far as saying that he's on pet use, I don't think so. But if he ever gets busted, right? We got to counterpunch everything. But anyway, that's my take on it, guys. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.